Let's talk about sex, baby. Hey, what's up? I'm Pat, and this is Real Talk Out of the Closet, and today we're going to discuss one of my favorite things ever. Okay, we're going to talk about sex and making love. Okay, and the first thing you need to know is there is a difference. Yes, there is a difference between sex and making love. Sex focuses more on your physical needs. um, and your body being just stimulated. Okay. Sex is something you have with somebody that you might pick up in a bar one night and take home. Um, just have a casual fling for the night and expect them to leave the next morning or that night. Okay. Or a booty call or friends with benefits. Whereas making love is completely different altogether. Making love is more compassionate, more focused, more giving, um, and it's more about not just the physical need, but the emotional and spiritual need as well. Like I've said before, I'm a strong believer that when you come together in that presence of making love or having sex, you are passing energy back and forth. And I prefer the good energy of um, being passionate and making love than I do of just casual sex. Not that I haven't just had casual sex, um, but I do prefer the passion side of making love. Okay. Um, One thing I want to say is, studs, please stop being so against letting your lady touch you, okay? Stop and think about how it makes you feel and how it turns you on to know that you're turning her on, okay? Um, Maybe she wants to feel that too. Stop being selfish, okay? Um, Maybe that would turn her on as well to turn you on or know that she's turning you on, okay? Um, Now, I understand that a lot of the studs out there and a lot of stems as well do not like penetration of any kind, and some of them actually don't even like um, any kind of arousal in that area whatsoever. And that's understandable, to each his own. And if that's what you prefer, then so be it. But set boundaries, okay? If that's the case, then just set boundaries with her. Let her know what is acceptable and what is not. And trust me, if she cares about you or loves you, she's going to understand and she's going to stay within those boundaries, okay? Um, you have to understand that there are so many other ways to arouse the body other than actually penetrating the vagina or stimulating the clitoris. Okay. Um, the body has so many erogenous zones, and there's probably just so many more out there that people haven't even realized because not enough people want to be open enough with their sexual experiences to allow people to touch them in different places. And that's another thing that I want to um, make a point on too is, don't be afraid to experiment, especially if it's with somebody you love. If you experiment and it's something you don't like, then just voice that to your lover and move on. Okay, try something different. Um, but don't close off your mind to all the different possibilities um, of things that could potentially be wonderful um, added into your sex life, okay? Now, some of the erogenous zones are your earlobes, some of the obvious ones, your neck, um, but some of the less obvious ones are right here on the inner wrist, is actually very sensual, down the inner arm, especially if it's with your fingertips and just a light tickle, or kissing and licking. Um, your buttocks is a erogenous zone. And I'm not talking penetration of your butt. I'm talking just touching and squeezing. Let's see, behind your knees. Okay, your lower back, your inner thighs. Okay, your growing. And for those of you that are not aware, no, a growing is not your dick, okay, or a man's dick. A growing is the area where your legs meet your belly, okay. Women have growing areas as well, and that is a very tender and stimulating area, okay. Kissing up or even nibbling up the inner thigh and then, licking on that area, or even running your fingertip, softly down that area is very arousing. Okay. Let me see. Let me think. Oh, you're speaking of running your fingers down, um, using your fingertips to just, lightly dust your hands, down your partner's body from head to toe, that's very stimulating and arousing. Your scalp, massaging your scalp. That's very stimulating as well. Or maybe even just a sensual massage. Okay, nothing rough and, deep tissue, just, nice and soft, and just, feel the body. Learn every inch of your partner's body. Okay. Um, Whether it's with your fingertips, your mouth, your tongue, or all of the above. Learn your partner's body, okay? But yes, the hands and the fingers can be very arousing as well. And another erogenous area is some people's feet and toes. Some people are into that. I'm sorry, I'm not. I think the feet are totally disgusting. They're the most disgusting thing on the human body besides the penis, okay? So feet are not something that I do. Now, don't get me wrong, if I'm giving my fiance a massage, then yes, I will massage her feet, but that's the extent of where my feet issues go, okay? Um, there's just so many different places, at the back of the arms, like right here, nice, soft, just, rubbing. Um, that could be very erogenous and exotic as well. Um, you just have to experiment. Okay, don't be afraid to experiment. Especially if it's with somebody that you love. You guys are going to learn and grow together, and that's what's most important is you learning what your partner likes and vice versa. Okay? So that way when you guys do come together, you can mix it up. All right? It's not going to be the same old thing and become stale and get dead bed, okay? Nobody wants that. Um so like I said, having sex or making love isn't always just, vaginal penetration. Although some women, do like that, whether it be with a strap on, a dildo, or your fingers, okay? Personally, I'm a finger lady. Um, eh, but it's all a personal preference, okay? And it's up to you and your partner. Um, what you prefer and what you're willing to experiment with and what you're not willing to experiment with to figure out what you both like. But there's certain ways that you can just get somebody off with touch, okay? um Kissing, nibbling, um licking, you know, um, but not just in the vaginal area, all over the whole body, okay? Um, don't get me wrong, licking in the vaginal area is fabulous, but how boring to just be licky licky all day long right down there, okay? Um, I'm sure there's some out there that do enjoy that, but stop being so vanilla, okay? Um, get in the groove, figure it out, okay? Um, use your hands, your lips, your tongue, your fingers, use every part of your body that you think might be usable to stimulate, okay? And try to stimulate every part of their body that you think might possibly be able to be stimulated, okay? Just get in there and experiment with each other. Learn each other's bodies, okay? Um that's really just the most important thing, honestly, is that you learn their bodies and how you do the job that you're going in to do, okay? Um if you're afraid to step out of your box, then eventually your sex life or lovemaking um, is going to become very boring. Okay. And one thing that you have to remember, always remember this. If there's only one thing you remember from this video, remember this. It takes more than one action to cause a reaction. Okay. Um, what I mean by that is if you're kissing on your partner's neck, use your hands to do something else. Okay, don't just let your hands drop to your side and kiss on your partner's neck. Whether you're rubbing their head, running your hands up and down their thighs, whether it be the outer thigh or inner thigh, rubbing a breast, whatever. Okay. If you're doing clitoral, excuse me, stimulation with your tongue, use your fingers elsewhere. And I'm not talking always penetration. You don't always have to stick your fingers in there and get going when you're doing clitoral stimulation. Your fingers can be used other places. Your woman's got breasts, rub her breasts. Okay. Um, rub her inner thigh, rub her outer thigh. Stick your hand up underneath her back or her ass. Okay? Um, my point is no matter what you're using, whether it's your mouth or your fingers, put the other parts to use too. Okay? Mix it up a little bit. Okay? And then, you know, of course you have the G spot. Okay? A lot of people think that doesn't really exist, and I'm sorry, the ones of you that think it does not exist, it's never been hit, okay? The G spot is usually 2 to 3 inches inside and up, okay? Um, now, this could vary. Yes, most women are made the same way, but the area or exact location of the G spot may vary a little bit in each woman, depending on different factors such as age, whether she's had children or not, just different factors like that. But usually, it's in about the same place, usually 2 to 3 inches in, and then straight up, okay? And you'll know when you find it. It's a little bit rougher than the rest of the inside there. Feels a little rigid. Um, once you hit it, just give it some of this, or 2 fingers, however you want to go about it. Um, there's an old school joke about a man that seen a woman crossing the parking lot, and he told her, "Come here, lady." And when she came to him, he said, "Do you always come when you're fingered?" Um, yeah, old school, I know, okay. Um, anyways, just, and you don't always, when you're, at the G spot, have to do clitoral stimulation then either. There's other things that you could use your other hand to do, or other places on the body that you could be kissing or licking or sucking or whatever, okay? Um, just really use your imagination, whether you're having sex with somebody or you're making love to your partner. Um, be creative. Don't be afraid to step out of your box. Um, I also want to say, pillow princesses, stop, okay? Just stop. Because you're being selfish too, okay? Now, if you have a partner that absolutely does not want you to touch them, and only wants to please you, then okay. But don't get with somebody and expect to only be satisfied yourself and not willing to satisfy them if they want that satisfaction as well, okay? Um, we got to stop being selfish lovers. We really do. There's too many of us out there that are selfish lovers, and it makes things stale, okay? Um, I hope you like this video. Drop me some messages in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And watch for my next video of when I thought I was going to be a fuckboy. Until next time.